So when I'm talking to drummers or musicians in general, one of the things that keeps cropping up are horror stories. We love our horror stories. Now, this can be absolutely anything, whether someone's misused some of your gear at a gig or something like that, or it's just something's happened. And hearing some of those stories really opens your eyes up to the way the music world is and the things that musicians have to go through to be able to play these gigs. And some of them are really quite cringy. So with that in mind, I thought I'd tell you some of mine, and I'll do it in a bit of a series, but yeah, hope you guys enjoy this. So around about 9 years ago, give or take, I bought my first proper pro drum kit. This was a Mapex Saturn 3, I think, in Axit White. It was my pride and joy. If you guys have watched my channel right from the beginning, you'll have seen it. Some of the older drum covers and stuff like that had that kit on. And again, my pride and joy. Unfortunately, I had to sell it to make way for this thing. And I wanted to see what this thing could do. So my band had a gig booked at, I think it was a club academy in Manchester. And we were really excited for this. You know, I was excited because we were headlining and I was going to have my kit up. It was going to look amazing and going to get all these like really nice photos and everything like that. So we got a whole thing set up and I got it exactly the way I wanted it for sound check. And we sound checked, sounded great. We're like proper buzzing. So I'd said to the other bands that were playing, if you guys need to change anything, you're more than welcome to, but just please let me know and I'll help you do it because it's a brand new kit, spent a lot of money on it. I want it to, you know, last as long as possible. So then we went off to get some food, and by the time that we come back, the first band that was due on the opening act, they'd just got all their gear up on stage, and the drummer had torn my kit apart. It had gone from this, you know, 3 up, sort of 1 down kind of thing to a 1 up, 1 down, and he'd moved a load of things, and he hadn't told me. And the worst part about it, I mean, the rest of it I was annoyed about, but I could forgive, you know, because I'd gone away for some food. But the worst part was the fact that the rack tom was resting on the bass drum whilst they were doing a sound check. I could hear it hitting the bass drum. I was dying inside, so I literally stopped their sound check, went up to the drummer, and I didn't quite shout at him because at the time I was very young and naive, but I was fuming, but I was trying to be nice about it, and I just had a bit of a go at him for it. And lo and behold, the rack tom had actually chipped away some of the paint, and that little speck was there for the rest of the time that I had the kit. I could have got it resprayed, I guess, but they would have had to have done the entire kit because, you know, like a lacquer like that, it just needs, the whole thing would need redoing, and because you have to match up the paintwork absolutely perfect, and yeah, it was going to be a whole mess. It was going to cost a lot of money, so I just left it. But that was probably one of the worst experiences at a gig with someone abusing my gear. I mean, I've had others before, you know, people abusing like my cymbals and stuff like that. I mean, you're supposed to bring your own to begin with. You know, if you don't have it, fair enough. I mean, I'm more than happy to help people out when they're in a bit of a jam. But come on, guys. If it's someone else's gear, treat it with respect. I think that's universal. Everyone should be doing that. And as mad as I was, you know, these guys were from Italy, I think. They were a band that had come over all the way from Italy. And, you know, I wasn't about to stop them from playing because, you know, they'd done that. I mean, I probably had every right to and pull my kit off stage or something like that, you know, if I was a proper diva. But like I say, I was young and naive as well at the time. So I let them play their set, and I never heard from them ever again. Some of my friends afterwards did tell me that I probably should have, you know, billed him for some of it. And again, if something like that happened now, then yeah, I'll probably invoice someone for the damages. But we played a great set. Everyone had a good time. There are some pictures up still here and there. I'll see if I can find one to put up here of that gig. And yeah, it was a really nice gig. I always love playing the academies in Manchester. They're really nice venues. Academy 3 has actually just fairly recently, within the past few years, had a complete revamp. They've redone the stage. They've actually put an extension on the side of the building so that there's a green room there now. And I was in there for my mate's band the other week for Twisted Illusion, and it's a nice space. It's really, it's clean. It's got really nice facilities, and yeah, it's just a really nice space now. So I think when we come to get back gigging again with my band or any other projects that I'm doing, I'm going to be really interested in playing Academy 3. It's a really nice venue now. Additionally, when it comes to people borrowing my gear now, I do kind of read them the riot act when I lend out gear. I shouldn't have to lend out gear, but again, if someone's in a jam, I'm more than happy to help them out. But I also try to not treat the person like an imbecile, like an idiot. I understand that, a lot of people don't understand how to treat other people's gear, but a lot of people do. They do understand how to treat other people's gear, and they understand to treat it with respect and hand it back in the same condition that they received it. And it's those people that I will continue to work with. If I lend out my gear and someone looks after it, doesn't abuse it, if they hired they borrowed my cymbals, and then I saw them on stage giving it all this and axing through it, then I'm probably not gonna play a gig with them again, or at least want to, and they're still not gonna be lent any of my gear again. But if someone looks after it, then yeah, I'm more than happy to help them out again. I'm sure you guys have got some horrible horror stories as well. If you have, leave them in the comment sections below, and maybe I'll read a few out on a future episode. Thank you very much for watching, and I will see you in the next video.